The war room had fallen silent only once before in its long history. And it all started with a joke that should never have been spoken. They assumed she was just another young soldier till she responded to the Admiral's question. That morning, Admiral Rebecca Hale was attempting to ease the tension. Sunlight streamed through the towering windows of the Joint Command Center, spilling across polished tables and bathing the room in white light. Officers sorted documents, analysts whispered in clusters, and a thick tension hovered like dust suspended in the air. That's when the Admiral noticed Private Lena Cortez quiet, slender, barely 23, standing near the briefing screen, reports pressed tightly against her chest. Hale smirked and called across the room. "So, Cortez, how many confirmed kills do you have? 10, 20, or should we just say 0 and move on?" A few chuckles rippled through the room. Lena didn't join them. Her hands shook slightly around the papers as sunlight outlined her frame. Something shifted in invisible pressure, as if the air itself had tightened. "Before I tell you what happened next, drop a comment letting me know where you're watching from. I always like knowing who's here." Slowly, Lena raised her eyes. Her stare didn't ask for silence, imposed it. Conversations stopped. Pens hovered mid-stroke. Even the low hum of the air conditioning seemed to disappear. "Calm and steady," she answered. 43. No one reacted at first. The number lingered absurd, impossible. Then expressions changed. Confusion gave way to disbelief, followed by an uneasy, collective swallow. 43. In a region where many seasoned operators never saw close combat, this young woman spoke the number as casually as reading a thermostat. The Admiral's smile wavered. "Say that again." "Private." Lena set the papers down on the table. Sunlight revealed faint scars along her wrists, not marks of vanity, but quiet reminders. Every officer noticed. No one spoke. 43 confirmed. She repeated, "But not in the way you're thinking." A murmur spread through the room. A pen clattered to the floor. A junior lieutenant leaned forward, whispering, "What does she mean?" Lena took a breath, controlled, but tight. She hadn't planned on speaking. Recognition was never her goal. Forgetting was. But now she was trapped between truth and pride, and neither felt safe. "We were deployed to the Eastern Valley 3 months ago," she began softly. "The evacuation mission that failed, the minefield, the landslide that buried half of Echo Squad." The room stiffened. Everyone remembered. Everyone remembered the losses. Those 43s weren't enemies, Lena continued. They were civilians, elderly, children, farmers, people who couldn't move fast enough. Someone gasped near the back. Another officer shut his eyes. She met the Admiral's gaze. "I didn't take lives. I saved them." The silence that followed was deafening. Dust motes drifted through the bright beams of sun as her words settled. She spoke of crawling through unstable rock, fingers torn, lungs burning, digging survivors out with bare hands and borrowed tools, of making 11 separate crossings over collapsing ground, carrying them out one by one, of refusing to stop even when her legs threatened to fail, when she believed she might never see daylight again. "This can't be real," a colonel whispered, but the room already knew. Her scars had spoken long before her voice did. Then she added the sentence that tightened the Admiral's throat. "I don't want medals. I just want them to have another morning like this one." Outside, the sunlight seemed to brighten, as though the world itself acknowledged her words. The Admiral stepped forward, no smirk, no authority on display, and humility tempered by awe. "Private Cortez," she said, "you never logged any of this. It wasn't my mission to impress anyone." "Ma'am," Lena replied. The Admiral nodded slowly, respectfully. Turning to the room, she spoke words that made every officer stand a little taller. "There are heroes walking among us, and sometimes we joke at the wrong moment." The room didn't erupt in applause, but in something warmer, gratitude, respect, admiration. Some officers stepped forward with quiet words. Others simply placed a hand over their heart. Lena's face reddened, overwhelmed. She never wanted this. But today, daylight finally revealed what darkness had forced her to carry alone. Because real courage doesn't shout indoors, quietly, until the world is finally ready to see it. And sometimes, the brightest truths begin with the smallest, softest voice. Thank you for listening to this story. If it moved you, share your thoughts below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'm grateful you're here.